Hello folks, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the Matchday Tavern. We are live for a little bit of Campeonato Brasileiro Série A, whatever. We've never done it before. We've never ever done it before on the channel. So I thought, hey, why not? Got a bit of a gap between the seasons starting. Why not? Let's do some Brazilian football. So we're doing Cruzeiro against Botafogo tonight. I thought it might be a good idea to explain how the Brazilian League works, because it is a little bit different to how the Premier League runs and operates. They play about 80 games a year in Brazil. Did you know that? Mad. That's why you can never really understand, or you can never really predict too much about these Brazilian leagues, because they rotate so heavily. This one is live on Premier Sports, by the way. I'm using the wrong remote. Come on. Is it on now? Watch live. Hey, there you go. We're on. Just took its sweet time, but we are on. Live programming can contain mature themes. That's fine. We're watching football. Good to see everyone in the chat anyway. How are we all doing? Lots and lots of great games coming up. This is just the first of a very niche few days, niche week on the Matchday Tavern. Tomorrow, I thought we'd have a little look around at what games we could do, and actually the best game, or at least let's say the most niche game, live on Channel 4. Channel 4 are broadcasting. I've decided to step completely away from games that are like pay-per-view sponsor. I want to watch games with you guys where you guys can watch it as much as possible. Obviously this one, I don't know if you've got Premier Sports. You might be able to get it. It is on Amazon Prime. It is I pay for Premier Sports. If you don't, I get it. You can get it however you get it. I don't know. There's maybe other ways to watch it. But tomorrow, Channel 4 have decided to broadcast the entire Women's African Nations Cup. So, yeah, the Women's AFCON. We're going to be watching a bit of South Africa versus Tanzania in the Women's AFCON tomorrow. It's live on Channel 4. It's a 6 o'clock kickoff. I thought, hey, why not? We can do something a bit different. Timbo, how's it going, Sarah? 3-star. City of Northville, great to see you guys. Love you guys. Who else is in? Shell, great to see you. Joe, Tory, I'm here. I've got my Tory can. What channel is this on? It's on Amazon Prime, mate, or Premier Sports if you're watching with me. Other ways, I don't know what you do it, how you do it. Are the owners of Cruzeiro the same as Coke Zero Key? They are indeed. They're certainly not the same owners as Aqua Libra. Right, anyway, let's get the game started. The clock started because we are off and underway. Right, clock, first half. What are we, 20 seconds in? There you go. Oh, now we're over let's go to 30. Started at 30 seconds. Right, there you go. Quite a few recognisable names, by the way, in these lineups you might have seen. So, Alan. Do you remember Alan who used to play for Everton? I don't know if he's starting. I don't think he is starting, actually, but he'll be on the bench. He plays for these teams. Marquinhos, who used to play for Arsenal. There he is. He's just gone down. Early tackle. Might be some red cards in this one. You can always count on the Brazilian League for a little bit of feistiness. And there's a couple of very talented wingers that you can watch. Montoro. I think his name's Alvaro Montoro. He was signed by Cruzeiro. By Botafogo. From Vélez Sarsfield, I think it was, for about 8 million quid. Big transfer fee for a 19-year-old, and he's done really well. Cruzeiro down the left-hand side. Great run. Pulled back. Edge of the box. Oh, good save. Well done. Good bit of defending, that. Artur Cabral is also playing. That's got to be a penalty, ref. That's got to be a penalty. How's that not a pen? I've got Cruzeiro, by the way. I hope you must have been able to tell just from that reaction. I've got Cruzeiro or draw. That's got to be a penalty to me. Alex Telles, they're all surrounding the ref. We're only 90 seconds in, much more of the Brazilian League. Oh, that's a pen. That is a penalty. How's that not a pen? Artur Jorge, the former Juventus centre-forward for Cruzeiro. He's just been tackled from behind. That's got to be a pen. That has to be a penalty. Tell me he's going to VAR that. Can we get a check, please, sir? Any chance at all? Is he going to look? He's running over to someone here. What's going on? No. Mad. Game goes on. I thought that was a nailed-on penalty, I have to say. Does any ex-Premier League players to look out for, Key? Sorry, yes, I was just about to do that, and then we got caught up in a penalty decision. Let me tell you, some ex-Premier League players who are playing in this game. So, you have Alex Telles, of course. Alex Telles, left back for Man United. He's playing. You've got Luis Sinisterra, who used to play for Bournemouth, used to play for Leeds. He's on the left wing for Cruzeiro. Marquinhos, the former Arsenal winger, is at centre mid. Trying to think of any other players that you might know. Artur Cabral, he used to play for Fiorentina. Danilo Santos for Botafogo, he did used to play for Nottingham Forest very briefly. 23-24 season he was at Nottingham Forest. So you've got him, you've got Mateus Martins on the left, who I think had a spell at Watford. Did he? Yeah. Mateus Martins, 23 years old, he had a spell at Watford. They tried to get him in, I think, to replace Ismail Assar, I think it was, and it didn't quite work out. Anyone else on the bench that's worth looking at who you might remember? No, I don't think so. Allen, the former Everton midfielder, he is out due to a knee injury. And Mateus Pereira, you might remember Mateus Pereira, used to play for West Brom. He's also out due to suspension. Yellow cards have kept him out of this one. But yeah, the Brazilian League is a little bit of a curious one. They have the Campeonato, where they have, that runs kind of, it runs all the way through to December, doesn't it? The Campeonato Brazil Série A, that's kind of like the Premier League, where there's 20 teams, they all play each other twice, 38 games. And then from January to April, there's no like off-season in Brazil. It's crazy. They just play all year round. As soon as it gets to the January period, they then have the Carioca. They have they play in states, basically. It's like the state championships. Because Brazil's such a big country, they just have the normal like national season, but then they'll have like, you know, the Amazonas region will all play together, and then they'll have like all the little like regional groups of teams, little pockets will all play each other, January to April, and that's like a really big deal in Brazil. The top 12 teams then qualify for either the Copa Libertadores, which is like the South American Champions League, and then maybe the bottom half is the Copa Sudamericana, which is, I guess, their version of the Europa League. So that's how it works. Football all year round. LG, are you doing all of the Women's African Cup of Nations games? I'm not, mate. No, I'm only going to be doing that one tomorrow. South Africa, who got to the final. Oh, no, they won it 4 years ago, didn't they, apparently? They won it. So I'm going to be watching the Women's AFCON tomorrow, 6 p.m. kickoff. That's our game tomorrow. Because we literally are, there's not a huge amount of games tomorrow. Libertadores, is that for Brazil or Argentina? It's for all of them, mate. Libertadores is across South America. Oxford fan, good to see you. Timbo Key doesn't like women that much. Oh, behave yourself. Don't start with that. I have absolutely no problem with women's football. We've watched a lot of it on these channels, Premier League Dad and Matchday Tavern. We did more women's football than I think most other watch-along channels. We've committed to watching women's football. There's nothing wrong with women's football at all. It's very enjoyable, very entertaining, even if misogynists like Timbo say otherwise. How do they handle such a huge match load? Bigger clubs. Usually, mate, it's just massive rotation. Bigger squads, massive rotation. That's why almost, I don't want to use the B word, but it rhymes with petting, but starts with B. They're so unpredictable and wild, because what you'll see sometimes is teams that you would normally expect to win, like teams at the top end of the table, will rest their entire squad against the team at the bottom end and just completely lose. And it's just so unpredictable how and why they do it. But if you're managing 80 games a season, it's probably understandable. Good ball in. Oh, it's a corner kick to Cruzeiro. Cruzeiro starting much the stronger. Botafogo really struggling to contain the wide players, but it's gone behind for the corner kick. What's the biggest game that can happen in the Brazilian league? I guess historically, who would be the two biggest clubs in Brazil? I mean, Santos probably, maybe Santos, Sao Paulo. Santos, Sao Paulo. I mean, do you know what, mate? They've all had their spells at the time. I mean, Cruzeiro, Ronaldo, R9 used to play for Cruzeiro. That's where he came through, right? Neymar obviously played for Santos, right? So did Pele. Fluminense, Flamengo. They've all had spells where they've been top dogs. International. Foxy says second half, look out for Zilukas. Is Zilukas, well, he's on the bench, isn't he, Zilukas? Yeah, he's a substitute. He might well come on second half, I would imagine. Foxy, the state championships are used to give the youngsters a chance. Then once the knockout stages arrive, the main players return. So it's like the Carabao Cup, I guess, the state championships. Crazy. But I agree, yes, Foxy. Zilukas I've heard good things about as well. Kenny Arroyo, I'm not sure. I've not heard of him, but Higuinho and Medina, big money signings from Argentina. Okay, love that. We've got our scout tracker turned on. Scouser, good evening, Key. Just woke up from a power nap, was knackered. I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not surprised. It's been a hectic few weeks with the World Cup. It's kind of knocked everyone's circadian rhythm. Certainly mine. I'm knackered, but I'm just starting to feel back to normal. Last night kind of threw me again because it was a late kickoff. The same again. We've got our final late kickoff. Liverpool-Wrexham, 12:30 in a few days' time. Once that's done, you start to finally get back to some sort of rhythm. Cruzeiro down the right-hand side. Got to lay it off. Go on, lad. Stands it up. Header. Oh, cleared away. It was nearly in. I think he was off the line almost. Artur Jorge, lots expected of him. He was Juve centre forward. He's now the star, basically, of Cruzeiro. Bradley says, when are you doing Premier League predictions, Key? Premier League predictions probably closer to the start of the season. I would imagine I'll do them maybe a couple of days before the start of the season. You're probably looking at another few weeks, mate. It's pointless. It's pointless doing Premier League predictions yet. Anyone who's doing Premier League predictions at this point, it can all change, can't it? Like, at this moment, if the window slammed shut, I would probably have Liverpool about 5th or 6th. If we sign Bradley Barcola and we sign 3 or 4 others, all of a sudden, you might put Liverpool 2nd or 3rd. Arsenal, at this moment in time, City probably could reel them in. If they started to add in, I don't think it'll happen, but if they did add in a Vinicius Jr. and a couple of others, then, then this title basically looks a foregone conclusion, doesn't it? So, it's still too early. Far, far too early to be doing predictions just yet. Madrid have just agreed for Diamand. Well, hey, listen, whether or not that happens is probably, it doesn't really matter too much to the Vinicius Jr. deal because he's a right-sided player, Jan Diamand. That probably... Oh, what a save! Big effort, that, from the edge of the box. It was number 10. Was that Montoro? Yes! He's the one, by the way, Montoro. Everything I've researched before this game tells me he's the one to watch, and he's just had the first big chance of the game for Botafogo. Very, very good save from Otavio. Bradley, are you a fan of the Barcola signing? I don't think I am. It's so bad. He is a good player. He is a good player. I can't really hide that. He's undeniably a good player, a very good winger, and I haven't really got anything against him. I guess my big issue with the Bradley Barcola signing for Liverpool is he would be our record signing, almost certainly our record signing. And we would be signing him to do things that he's never had to do in his entire career. That seems like a really bizarre premise to sign a player on your record transfer fee. You would sign them to do a job that they've never had to do before in their entire career. The way that Iraola plays is almost the polar opposite to how Luis Enrique plays. That's not to say that Bradley Barcola can't do it, by the way. He's a wonderful player. It's just a job that he's never been asked to do before. He's not in any way like Antoine Semenyo. He's not in any way like even like Ryan to some degree. He's very, very different in the skills that he brings. He's a good player. No doubt he's a good player, though. Joe says, Key, I thought Diamand was going to Liverpool, got food chained. Hey, mate, Real Madrid, if you're going to get food chained by someone, at least you're getting done by Real Madrid. Be a whole lot worse if you were getting food chained by Aston Villa, wouldn't it, Joe? City of Northville might want to do a welfare check after that Wrexham match. Well, yes, yeah. To be honest, I think I'll have the wife probably checking in because it'll be what 1:15, 1:30. We need to be 2:30 by the time that game finishes. Diamand will be called money hungry now because he's not chosen Liverpool. How do you be called money hungry? It's Real Madrid. I mean, if you're going to turn... I don't mind Liverpool getting rejected for Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid, you know. It's the biggest club in the world. I don't think anyone really argues with that. Bradley, I don't get it though. Are you signing him for the left or the right wing? Well, I think it's probably going to be the left. I agree. That's a problem for Liverpool because... He's a left-sided player, and really we're looking for right-sided players. So that's a bizarre reason I didn't want to sign him as well. I thought we would go all in on Jan Diamand. But, hey, there you go. Matchday Tavern, was there any in the stream last night, this morning for the Liverpool friendly key? I would have been in, but I was totally knackered. Oh, don't worry about it, mate. Absolutely no problem. Was there many in? There was about, I think that we reached about 100 in the room at one point. It might actually have been our record stream, funnily enough. If I'd have carried on, I stopped the stream after about 60 minutes. If we'd have carried on, it might have broke the record on Matchday Tavern. Obviously, nowhere near the numbers that we were getting on Premier League Dad. That's going to come later in the season. But, yeah. For Matchday Tavern, it feels like everything's stepping up. Timbo Key, you can have Neto if you want. I'll take him. Yeah, we'd love Neto. Foxy, there's a lad at Cruzeiro called Eduardo Pap, only 17, very similar style to Kaká. Not going to say the next Kaká, but watch out for him soon. Is he on the bench tonight? Eduardo Pap. He's not. He's not on the bench, but I'll take your word for it, mate. Yeah, he's a talented young player. Still need to spend big on a right winger if he's signed for the left. I don't know. I don't think we will. I think it's far more likely that Liverpool will just put either Rio Engamoa or Munoz over to the right-hand side. Cruzeiro, edge of the box, strike. Good block. How's it going, Dylan? Frank Snow, are you going to hate on Arsenal again? New season or just focus on your own squad? I'm probably going to do what everyone else does, mate, and probably talk about every team in the Premier League, because why wouldn't you? Yeah. Why does it bother you? Does it bother you when I talk about Arsenal? Does it upset you? I'm sorry, mate. I don't mean it to upset you. See, Timbo, he is an Everton fan. Not an Everton fan. I would quite happily have Neto. He's a good player. Diamante Madrid is complete. Al Hilal open talks to sign Illiman and Dye. How random's that? Oh, that'd be grim, because I don't think Illiman and Dye is worth anywhere near as much as the money that they're going to get. 70, 80 million for him, and he's nowhere near that. He's not that good. Joe, what is the most random watch along you have done? We've done Icelandic League the other week. We're doing the women's AFCON tomorrow. I don't imagine you'll find too many content creators watching the women's AFCON tomorrow, but we will be. I say we like you guys are all going to be there. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. You might not turn up for it, but it's only on Channel 4. You can all watch it. Everyone can watch that game tomorrow. You don't need a subscription or a PPV or anything. You can just watch it on Channel 4. Still feel certain Vinny's staying put. Yes. Yeah, he's going nowhere. He's absolutely going nowhere, Vinicius Jr. That is the most obvious power play. He's gone and let Real Madrid know that he's got other options. His agent's done what his agent's paid to do, which is go and leak interest, go and say that there's money coming in, and all. Like, just don't be silly. He knows he wants to stay, and Real Madrid know he wants to stay, and I think eventually they know that they'll get the right number will be written down on a piece of paper and said, there you go, that's your contract, all right. And I don't know what he's on at the minute. Isn't he on like 500 grand a week or something stupid like that? How much is Vinicius Jr. on? Vinny Jr. wages. What's his wages? 25. Oh, he's 400 grand a week. Right, so he's on 400 grand a week at the minute. He'll want a little bit of a bump, because players always do. So maybe Real Madrid have said to him, we'll give you 420. 420, what you smoking? Maybe they'll offer him 420, and he's gone 450, and they just can't agree on that little 30 grand movement. And eventually what'll happen is they'll piss and moan, there'll be a bit of a back and forth where Arsenal think they've got a chance, and then all of a sudden there'll be a contract announcement. Vinny signs for 435. They'll land smack bang in the middle. He's got an extra 15 grand a week. Everyone's happy. Frank says, got to pay for his image rights as well. Would be a ridiculous wage and amount to pay. No, not really. No, because if he's on 400 grand a week, how much would he want to come to Arsenal? Because he's on 400 grand a week at Real Madrid, where he wants to be. He would only be going to Arsenal because Real Madrid have effectively told him, leg it. So I think he'd demand closer to 500. I think he'd break the whole wage structure at Arsenal would need to be broken for Vinny Jr. That's why it's never going to happen as well. He would need to go there on much, much more than Real Madrid are offering him. Joe and Dye just wants to go to a bigger club. Is Al Hilal a bigger club than Everton? City of Northville, do the women's AFCON have VAR? Do you know what? I don't know. Good ball in. Must be. Far post. Oh, how's that stayed out? Oh, off the line, and then the referee gives a free kick for the high foot. Oh, that's got to be a goal. Has to be a goal. Really, really poor, that. It was Lucas Romero, who arrived at the back stick. Can't see us paying his wages. As much as I'd love it realistically, it's never going to happen. £500,000 a week, plus you'd be upsetting everyone in the squad. And, you know, the allegations of him maybe not being a huge team player, and he wants to be the star. And he's said all along, hasn't he? When people tell you how they feel, listen to him. He's literally said repeatedly he wants to win the Ballon d'Or. He's not going to go to Arsenal and be this, like, team player who tracks back. Absolutely not. Every penalty you get, Vinny's taking it. Every free kick, Vinny's taking it. He would be Mr. Arsenal, and you'd be paying him £500,000 a week. I'm telling you, it would be the worst thing to ever happen to Arsenal. In many ways, I hope it happens. But it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. He's using the Arsenal stuff to get a better contract. And, you know, that's football. That happens. Hey, Jelly, how's it going? Long time no see. Foxy says Brazilian league for me, one of the most competitive leagues in the world, challenging for the title one year, relegated to Serie B the next. That's fair. I mean, this year, Cruzeiro currently sit in, I mean, these two are right next to each other. Cruzeiro 8th, Botafogo 9th. They are both about 4 points off the Copa Libertadores group stage qualification. As it stands, they're probably going to be in the Copa Sudamericana, but they are only a couple of points. A win tonight for one of these teams, and it would take them above Red Bull Bragantino into the Copa Libertadores qualification. Joe, are there any days coming up that it's going to be hard to do a watch along? I don't think so. No, we've got a game every single day. I've basically projected now all of our fixtures to the start of the Premier League season. So no, I think we're pretty good. Can't wait for Arsenal to bid for all these left wingers and end up with Gittins. Do you think Vinny to Arsenal won't happen? No, it will definitely not happen. 100% it's not happening. Let the Arsenal fans sign him on their FIFA for the next couple of days, and then it'll get smoked when he comes out and announces the new contract. Where are Flamengo this season, Keith? Flamengo are currently second. They are 7 points behind the leaders, Palmeiras. That's poor from Botafogo. And again, they're driving forward. Caio Jorge must be 1-0. Oh, he missed it. That's a huge chance for Cruzeiro. Really should make that 1-0. That's a massive chance. Oh, that's a huge, huge chance. Joe's frustrating as well. He's a really, really good player, him. He can finish. He got 29 goals and assists in 33 appearances for Cruzeiro last year. We started this year really well. 12 goals in 20 appearances so far. He's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He got a move to Juventus, which was maybe a little bit too soon for him. You still need a Google Calendar for the schedule key. Google Calendar updates it to everyone you share it with when you update it. I don't know how I'd do that. I mean, I'll happily do it. Yeah, I'll happily do it. I can do a Google Calendar link. That'll be dead easy to do. But I just don't really know how I'd have it so that everyone can see all the games. And when it says updates to everyone you share it with, maybe can I not just make it a public calendar? Like I'll create the calendar and then just share it with everyone who has the link. Cruzeiro driving forward, good pass. It's all Cruzeiro at this point. Joe, how many games of the World Cup did you watch in the end? I honestly couldn't tell you. I didn't count. Vinny using Arsenal for the better contract. Arsenal using Vinny to show clubs they have alternatives. None want the transfer to go through. The Jody stand, big fan, MB. Love the way you cover so many different leagues. Republic of Ireland League and South American football is crazy. It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. We bounce from one thing to the next, and we've got the women's AFCON tomorrow. In fact, I'll make that public now. I'll share that actual that live so people can see the thumbnail. South Africa women versus Tanzania women tomorrow. We'll be there for that one. The women's AFCON. It's live on Channel 4, so you can watch along with me. There's no PPV or anything going on with that one. But yeah, great to see the Bulls fans have stuck with us for a bit. Joe says looks like one of the deals in advanced stages is a move for Braga keeper Lucas Hornicek for Newcastle. Surprising. The early post will make it so you may get even up to a dozen views. Hey, why not? Have you recovered from the World Cup? No, not quite, mate. No, it's still very broken sleep. Was Jan Diamand always waiting for Madrid? I think he was probably... Yeah, I think he probably let it be known that... I mean, Real Madrid will have had the feelers out with him for a while, wouldn't they? Evening Finners, how's it going? Not going to be in long as it's 10:30 in Turkey. It is, yep. Late one in Turkey for you. When Arsenal don't get Vinny, they'll have to take comfort in the Champions League trophy. Free kick for Botafogo. Floated. Oh no, it's played short. Little well-worked move. Claim for the free kick. Nice, give a goal kick. He's not happy with it. Again, Montoro causing all the problems. Was it a free kick? Let's see. Nah, it wasn't a free kick. It was a bit of a dive, that, but I do like him. I think he could be a Premier League player in the near future. Alvaro Montoro, one to watch. James Trafford to Leeds is crazy. I thought Newcastle would be all over it. Newcastle have already signed a goalkeeper, though. I don't understand why Newcastle are going to sign 2 goalkeepers again. Nick Pope is a perfectly able backup. If you've got Ewan Jowen, I don't understand why you'd then go and get another goalkeeper. Whoa, a little bit of a scrap here. Artur Jorge getting a bit of a shouting from Justino. What for? Was there a shove in the back? Oh, that's nothing, that. That's handbags. A little bit of a shove in the back. There's nothing wrong there. Key, how did Liverpool play last night? We did all right, actually. Yeah, we did okay. I thought the way that Liverpool played was probably not that remarkable. I think there's obviously people desperate to latch on to this new era, this Iraola era, where there's like a huge change in how we play. I didn't really notice any massive changes in how we played. The big difference was maybe that Iraola was being briefed on, make sure you're very animated on the touchline, make sure you're very shouty and pointy. Because that is like the number one thing Liverpool fans want to see this season. It sounds pathetic, and I promise you in many ways it is. Liverpool fans had a big whinge at Arne Slot last season because he wasn't shouty and pointy on the touchline. He was too sit back, too calm, too casual. They wanted a manager who was a bit more Klopp. And I think that's what Iraola's been told. He'll have been told at different points this season, listen, for the love of God, just make sure if we're ever level in a game, chasing a game, if we're ever down or whatever, just stand up. Just stand up and be very pointy and shouty. Doesn't ask for much, but that's what it's after, I'm telling you. Don't our man actually be watching anything? You heard it, mate. You heard it here first. Cruzeiro, Botafogo today. Tomorrow, we've got AFCON, the women's AFCON. Sam Hale says Newcastle drew 1-1 away to Gateshead on Saturday with Lee Cattermole as Gateshead manager. I know, yeah. We was talking about that the other day with Joe. He loves that. Degs, we hate watching the champions this season, Key. Yeah, we'll be watching them, I'm sure. I've been shadow banned on TikTok for a bit, so maybe by the time the season swings around, it'll be a bit better. But yeah, I'll be watching Arsenal. There's no hate watch, but I will be watching them the same as I did last year. What channel are you watching this game on? Right here, Foxy. Right here, Foxy. I've put it right in the middle for everyone to see. Got a player down, and we've got the old golf cart on. There's a golf buggy on the pitch with the stretcher ready to take off one of the Botafogo players. Joe, what teams get you the most views? Mate, I honestly don't know. I honestly couldn't tell you. Because we've got 300,000 views for the AFCON final. We got Arsenal and Chelsea got it's nearly 200,000. United and someone got we've had Real Madrid and we had Newcastle. We had a Newcastle game get over 200,000 views. It just I don't know. It tends to just be reflective of a game. Crystal Palace lost to Bromley as well. And oh yeah, I saw that. That wasn't great, was it? Crystal Palace losing to Bromley and Brennan Johnson getting a bit of stick. Artur Cabral, I think it is, going off here. He's not looking himself. How confident are you, Jellyfish, that United win the Premier League? Listen, I hope I'm wrong, Jelly. You know I love you, mate, but I hope I'm wrong when I say this. I somehow think you'll disappear towards the end of the season. Not Daniel says, I've just looked and it was Arsenal versus Man United at the Emirates. Arsenal v Man United was big. Arsenal v Chelsea was big. Newcastle was big. We did Barca Real Madrid in the Clasico. That was massive. Yeah, it was. We've had some big. I mean, Christ, there was Burkina Faso against Equatorial Guinea got about 50,000, I think. We've had some mad ones. Cruzeiro play the short corner, floated in far post. Botafogo headed away. That's better. Cruzeiro just starting to click. Maybe that delay in getting Artur Cabral off. Probably just opening the game up a little bit. Excuse me. I'd rather be Tottenham and barely stay up than win playing that anti-football nonsense. That's one thing I'm sure we agree on, Northville, isn't it? As Liverpool and Man United fans, we can agree that there's just no way that that playing style would ever be allowed to happen at Liverpool or United. I don't think that playing style would ever be. It doesn't matter how successful it is. I'm telling you, any manager, Huguinho's just been booked, Foxy. Any manager would be forced out of Liverpool and Man United playing like that. Coventry at Arsenal in the opening weekend will be interesting. Come on, Coventry. Come on, the Sky Blues. Yuvraj, what playing style? Arsenal's playing style, yeah. Key, what on earth are we doing? How have we not even got a Salah replacement sorted? Well, we're very close, apparently, to getting Barcola. Botafogo headed away. That's much better. No, it's an offside. Bastard. We played the best football in the league 2 to 4 seasons ago, mate. Oh, did you? Must have missed that. I must have missed that. Saying that, we've all been in a coma for the last however long watching them. So maybe we've all got short-term memory loss. Spurs looked solid yesterday. It's pre-season. You can't put too much stock in it. Still far too early in the season. You clearly did, or your hate just watches for you. That doesn't make any sense, Yuvraj. Harry, been a while. Key, enjoy the streams, particularly when I can't be asked to put the games on the telly. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so kind. What team is Salah going to? Well, there's been a lot of noise about Besiktas, but I'm pretty confident he's going to a top team. I don't know who yet, obviously, but I get the feeling that he's going to go to a Bayern. I don't know why. I've always thought Bayern. Yuvraj says, factually, we did go back and watch our football during 23-24. We were smashing teams 4-0, 5-0. You were smashing teams 4-0 and 5-0 this year. That doesn't mean you were playing good football. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to... It's pretty, mate, it's pretty... I don't know why you're trying to fight it. Why would you try and fight it? It's pretty unanimous, even amongst Arsenal fans, that you play the most dour football in the league. If you hadn't won the league last year, and you only just did by the skin of your teeth, you only just won it, there was Arsenal fans who were telling me, and I mean dozens of them, coming in the chat and telling me that Arteta must go if he doesn't win the league. If he doesn't win the league, doesn't win the Champions League, they'd want him sacked. Why, was my question. Because he plays garbage football. We can tolerate the football if we're winning things. That was the only reason. If he didn't win the league, I'm telling you, you'd have sacked him. City of Northville, bottle up that optimism. It makes the season more exciting early on. Adam says, Key, they had George Graham and the entire world chanted boring, boring Arsenal. Yeah, 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's it. I mean, embrace it. There's no problem with that, but embrace it. Finks, you said Liverpool were signing Diamand yesterday. I did, yes. I said I thought Diamand would still come to Liverpool before the quick development of Real Madrid. I did say that, yes. I got that wrong. If you stick around for long enough, you'll find that I'm a human being and I get a lot of things wrong. Like everyone. I don't pretend to get 100% of things right, mate. I get quite a bit wrong. But I think at the time, I still thought Jan Diamand to Real Madrid didn't make a lot of sense. But now, given that Rodrigo's just coming back from his injury, they're kind of overstocked on that right wing anyway with Rodrigo, Mastantuono, Brahim Diaz. Yeah, there's probably going to be a couple of departures there now. And I imagine Rodrigo, who's only got a year left on his contract, by the way, at the end of this season, I absolutely believe Rodrigo will be moving on, and I'd take him at Liverpool. Fabulous player. You still talking about the champions of England again, pal? Get over it. Why? Why not? Why? What's the issue with talking about Arsenal? Have you got an issue with talking about them? Why can't we talk about Arsenal? It's bizarre that. It's bizarre. Why is it such an issue to talk about them? They're the champions of England. You would absolutely want to talk about the best team in the country. Why wouldn't you talk about them? Vinny to Arsenal, behave yourself. Vinny to Arsenal isn't affected by Jan Diamand to Real Madrid. It doesn't make any difference. Jan Diamand's a right-sided player. Would you take Neto to Liverpool? Yes, I would. Absolutely take Neto. Twin, I'm an Arsenal fan and the football was hard to watch, but 4 years ago the football was not that bad. I mean, that's brilliant. I love that. I'm an Arsenal fan and the football was hard to watch, but 4 years ago the football was not that bad. That's brilliant. I love that. That's fine. Okay, I'd concede. Oh, it's there. Botafogo off the corner. 1-0. Goal stands. That's bad. That is very, very bad. Oh, no. I've got Arsenal fans giving me grief, but I'm down on my old acca. I've got Cruzeiro or draw here. Damo says, Key, I'm an Arsenal fan. Who do other fans think we're going to end up with? Don't know. I mean, I think you've got Martinelli. You've got Madueke, Martinelli, Saka. You might even just bring in Darman. Maybe Darman gets more games. You've still got Wanyuri as well to come back. I mean, Arsenal don't want to lose Dalman or Wanyeri, do they? So maybe you don't sign a winger. Maybe it's all a big smokescreen. I actually don't think Arsenal will. Harry talking about signing Neto when Arsenal are in talks with Vinny. Levels to this game. You're not in talks to sign Vinny. I don't want to disappoint you, mate, but you're not in talks to sign Vinny. Did you hear Wimbledon lost 9-4 in a friendly today, Key? I didn't know. Maybe we should have watched that one. Would you take Spence from Spurs? No, I wouldn't. I absolutely wouldn't. Have you made your FPL team? I haven't, no. I won't be making an FPL team for about a month yet. Vinny Jr. to Arsenal is a smokescreen. The club is the one saying we are looking into signing Vinny. Well, you know what? I don't know. We don't know where that's come from. Obviously, Ornstein's put it out there, but we don't actually know where it's come from. Ornstein might have been approached by someone he trusts at Real Madrid who are saying Arsenal are in for Vinny. That's enough for him to run that story. He might have been approached by Vinny's agent or a representative of Vinny's agent. He might have been approached by Arsenal. Yeah, a brief from Arsenal, because again, they'll want to keep the fans on side and create a bit of a buzz. It benefits Arsenal, even if they're not in talks for Vinny. It benefits them for people to think that they are, because that sets the tone, doesn't it? It sets the tone. These are the types of players we're in for. You're fucking not in for him. Don't talk wet. Don't talk wet. Who's playing? Cruzeiro against Botafogo. Botafogo currently 1-0 up just before half-time. Good header off the corner. Key, did you see the Hull owners tweet? I think all owners should do the same. No, I don't like that. You should keep your powder dry. Keep your washing behind closed doors. You don't need to have owners coming out and saying, these are the players that we're in for and these are the players that we're not in for. No. It's silly season. Your job as a football owner is not to comment on every single rumour. Your job's just to get deals done. I'd much rather my owner be getting the deals done than spending time writing social media posts. That's not your job, mate. That's nothing to do with you. Oh, sorry, Shahid. Yes, I've just realised it's my job to change the score tonight. Annoyingly. There you go. Botafogo 1-0 up. Sorry. Missing out on him is a disgrace. We would have snatched him right before we got used to leftovers and scraps under these filthy owners. Gomez injured. I'm guessing you guys need to tighten that defence up. Joe Gomez, I think, stays at Liverpool. He's only got 12 months left on his contract. But yeah, we definitely need another defensive option. Bezzy, the prices for all these wingers are extortionate. Are they, though? Are they? The going rate now for a good player is like 100 million plus. Like, that's kind of how it works. It feels like Morgan Rogers was 117. Elliot Anderson was 116. You know, Vert's Isak last summer went for 100 million plus. Barcola's being quoted at 140. I don't think we'll go for 140. He'll probably go for about 120, maybe even a touch less. But that if you're a good player in this current transfer market, you're going for 100 million plus. Iliman and Dye, who has got, I think, one assist, in the last 18 months, 2 years at Everton. He's meant to be a creative player. I think he's got maybe one. He might have two. I apologise if he's got two. But he's not a creative player in the truest sense of the word. And Al Hilal are going to sign him for about 80 million quid. It's crazy. So if he's that, then yeah, it probably is. Barcola, you can make a good case that he's 120. United signing Victor Lindelof means they won't pursue Van Dijk or Michael Keane. United signing Victor Lindelof. What do you want about Bradley? Are you okay, mate? Looking shaky at the back, mate. Good going forward, though. Spurs will be getting Kroupy. Definitely. I'm not sure if Krupies will go to Spurs. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. Barcola for 120 is not a good deal, but it makes sense for Liverpool to sign a player of his profile. I don't mind the fee. I think the fee is fine. If we decide Barcola's the player, then I'm fine with the fee. 120's reasonable for the fee. And Dialac's end product, but a very entertaining player. That's fair. That's true. Most definitely will, or we get Barcola. Spurs aren't getting Barcola. Jesus Christ. Spurs won't get Barcola. He's not leaving PSG for Spurs. He was PSG's most appeared player last year. He was PSG's top scorer in Ligue 1. He made more appearances for him than anybody else. There's absolutely no world in which Barcola goes to Spurs. More cash than Liverpool at the minute. I mean, that's categorically not true. Liverpool have got far more cash than... Certainly more than Spurs. Far more than Spurs. We're a bigger club and we've got more money to play with. City of Northville, Santos was overpriced. We rejected Anderson for being too much, then went and signed Andre Santos for 15 million more than we needed to pay. I like Santos, but we shouldn't have got him. We should have got him for less. 7 Barcola's not going to Spurs. That's absolutely outrageous. Hey, let him have the little moment. Cov City prediction this season. I think you're going down, mate, at this moment. You've not signed anyone really worth noting. And the teams that stayed up last season spent about 150 million net minimum. Coventry are nowhere near that. I think they're going to go back down at this moment. I wouldn't like to say it'll happen, but I think it will. Arsenal prediction this season. I think Arsenal win the league. They have to. They have to. Anything other than a title win for Arsenal this season is an absolute abject failure. It's a huge failure. Will says, what shirt is that behind you, mate? The white and rainbow one. It's VFL Bochum. Thought Tonali wasn't and Fernandez, but where are they now? I mean, Fernandez isn't really that big of a... It's not really that big of a pull, that one. That's not a big flex to sign Matheus Fernandez from a relegated West Ham. The reason Matheus Fernandez is at Spurs over, say, Man United and over maybe Arsenal and other clubs who were looking at him is because you were prepared to pay 80 million and they weren't. That's the only reason. It's nothing to do with he chose Spurs over you. That's just categorically wrong. Matheus Fernandez had options, but you were prepared to pay the money. And it was the same with Tonali, by the way. City looked at Tonali. They just weren't prepared to pay 100 million quid. So the reason that those players are there is because you were prepared to pay 180 million for Tonali and Fernandez. That's the only reason. Foot says, so Liverpool not winning the league last year was an absolute failure. No, Liverpool at the start of the season were never ever going to be challenging for the league, in my opinion. I said that at the start of the season. I thought we'd struggle at the start. It was quite evident we needed more than we had. And as soon as we got the big injuries, it was always going to be unlikely. Is Vinny confirmed yet? Vinny's going nowhere. Harry says, still an absolute failure then, mate. You were the reigning champions. It's not the reigning champions if you sell 40% of your squad, is it? Reigning champions completely changes if you sell half your team. Half-time quiz, not quite yet, mate. Not quite yet. You've jumped the gun, Welsh. Seven, I'm going to take my biased fan hat off here and say Vinny won't go to Arsenal. It's just too expensive. But Vinny won't go there. Danny, you spent 450 million. Well, we didn't spend 450 million. We spent less than Arsenal. But we spent 450 million. Let's say we did. Half of that wasn't on the pitch for the vast majority of the season. So, if that money isn't on the pitch, then it's difficult to say, well, you spent the money, you've had the money. They are bad signings. They're not bad signings. They just weren't on the pitch. The vast majority of them. Okay, then don't sell half your team. How isn't that a failure? Oh, it's a failure at board level. I would agree with you at that point. We sold Luis Diaz. We didn't replace him. We sold Trent Alexander-Arnold. We didn't really replace him. The player that we brought in was out injured for most of the season. We didn't have a right back all season. Didn't have a centre back all season. So yeah, it was never. I don't think it was a failure. When you look at the actual players we had available, it was never a failure. Liverpool finished about 5th or 6th. We finished 5th. Fifth is basically where that Liverpool squad was. I don't think we underperformed or overperformed. Really, we were the 5th best team. And I think that's where we are now. I've predicted us to finish 5th again, unless we go and sign a good few more players. We've got a lot of problems. Okay, half-time. Cruzeiro 0, Botafogo 1. Half-time has just gone. Come on, Cruzeiro. Need you to turn this one round. Saka, your squad didn't underperform, but your expectations were much higher. Mine weren't. No, mine weren't. I mean, I can't speak for every Liverpool fan, but mine certainly weren't. I had no expectations that we'd challenge for the title seriously last year. It was always going to be a long shot. Finners Matty, right time off to bed now, 11 p.m, nearly in Turkey. Oh, God, yeah, it is, isn't it? All right, well, good night, mate. Take it easy. Enjoy your holes. Danny, you signed Ekatike and Isak. How's that not replacing? Ekatike and Isak is not Luis Diaz, is it, mate? That's a left-sided player. Luis Diaz was a winger. We replaced him with a 16-year-old kid in Rio Engamoa. And we had Ekatike and Isak. Isak was injured and broke his leg all season. He was out all season. So the 120 million we spent on Isak went. It wasn't on the pitch. If it's not on the pitch, it's hard to judge, really, isn't it? Top 25 Brazilian appearances in La Liga. Jesus Christ, Welsh. Okay, halftime quiz. Top 25 Brazilian appearances in La Liga. Okay. Ryan, I'm gutted with the Everton news. What's the Everton news? Key, who do you think's a better striker, Sesko or Havertz? Havertz is the better striker right now. I think Sesko will be, though, maybe by the end of this season. Casemiro, 17th. If you've just joined us, we've got our halftime quiz, which is the top 25 Brazilian appearances in La Liga. Vinicius Jr., 13th. Who else have we got? Ronaldo, 7th. Who else have we got? And die to Saudi for 100 million. Illiman die for 100 million, mate. You should be snatching their hand off. Tom, Barcola for 170. Where the fuck have you seen 170? I've not seen one single report that said it's 170. PSG has said 140, and there's no way we'll pay 140. That means that's what they're quoting. You might get 120 for it. 170 is laughable. It's not going to be 170. You've made that up in your mind. Danny, I've come on here because people on my live just getting on my nerves. Tom, Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook have not said 170. Ronaldinho, 24th. Rivaldo, 23rd. Brazilians in Spain. Dani Alves, yeah, you would think Dani Alves would be there. Maybe. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a very, very good question. Funny key, someone said 170 on mine earlier. 170 in euros, they said. Fucking 170 in Polish zlotys, maybe. I think 170. Barcola, Liverpool. No, that's nonsense. That's abject nonsense. Why does everyone quote it in euros as if we pay euros anyway? Fab has said about Ndai to Saudi. Oh my god. Dani Alves was second, okay. Brazilian players, top 25 Brazilian players to play in Spain. Given we're watching a Brazilian game tonight, Botafogo versus Cruzeiro. Botafogo 1-0 up in the first half. We've got a halftime quiz, and it is the top 25 Brazilian players with the most appearances in La Liga. So far, we've got Ronaldinho, 24th, Rivaldo, 23rd, Casemiro, 17th, Vini, 13th, Ronaldo 7th, Alves 2nd. What about Rodrigo? Yeah, Rodrigo could be there, maybe. Marcelo. Oh, Marcelo's got to be first, hasn't he? Felipe Luis, good shout. Adriano is 8th. Adriano? Which Adriano are we talking about here? Which Adriano are we talking about? The Barcelona Adriano? Or Luis Adriano, the Sevilla? Oh, he played for both, didn't he? Yeah, fullback. That Adriano. Yeah, maybe. Okay, fair enough. Marcelo is first. No surprise there. Marcelo first. Belotti. What about Belotti? Denilson. Yeah, Denilson of Betis, of course. ZZZ edit. I make edits. Can you name a player for an edit? Yes. Steve Lomas. Steve Lomas for an edit. Make us a Steve Lomas edit. Diego Alves is 9th. Diego Alves is 9th. How's it going, Nick? Yeah, Belotti, I would imagine's got to be there. What about Luis Adriano then? Luis Adriano for Sevilla played for a long time there, didn't he? Rafinha, Neymar. Yeah, could be Neymar. Rodrigo, Diego Carlos at Sevilla. What are we talking about here? We're doing our halftime quiz, mate. You don't really get to see the full experience. Isn't really here on TikTok. It's over on the Red app. So if you search Key Thomas at the Matchday Tavern, you can see we've got a quiz. We've got lineups on the screen. It's a bit more of a professional overlay. Paulista is 16th. Paulista as in Juninho Paulista? Gabriel Paulista? Which Paulista are we talking about? Neymar is 25th. Okay. Belletti, who played for Barca and Chelsea. Yes, that's the one. Giuliano Belletti. Could be him. Maybe. Felipe Luis. Luis Adriano. Anthony, not quite. I don't think he's had enough time there. Same with Coutinho. Nick, are you watching some matches in this live? I am. We do a watch along every single day. I'm doing one right now. Botafogo versus Cruzeiro. That's what we're watching. Carlos is 4th. Luis is 6th. Diego Carlos 4th. Felipe Luis 6th. Gabriel from Sao Paulo. Yeah, Gabriel Paulista. Rivaldo. We've got Rivaldo. He's 23rd. Would you say Indicator is a reliable source? No. Only if you eat crayons. Luis Adriano's 21st. Nice. I got one right. Okay. We still not got Belletti. Taffarel never played in La Liga, I don't think. Fabinho only played there very briefly for Real Madrid. Miranda. Yeah, Miranda could be a good shout. Endrick. Again, he's not played that much. If Neymar's 25th, Coutinho and Endrick aren't going to be on. Tom, I'm not that keen on Barcola, but I won't write him off. No, mate, same with me. I don't think it's like an immediately brilliant fit, but we'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I have been known to be wrong every so often. Roberto Carlos is 4th, isn't he? Not Diego. Willian Jose is 10th. Oh, yeah, we've not even said Roberto Carlos. Oh, Roberto Carlos is 4th. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry, Roberto Carlos. Are you a fan of some team? I am, yes. I'm a Liverpool fan. Do you think Romero should go to Inter or Barca? I think obviously you'd prefer to go to Barcelona, but he might suit Inter Milan a bit better. Lucas Leiva never played in Spain, did he? Mauro de Silva says not Daniel. I'm trying to think of other Brazilians who we might have missed. What about... Oh, no. I always get him wrong. What are you doing? I am watching Cruzeiro versus Botafogo. And we're doing our halftime quiz. Mateus Cunha... No, Mateus Cunha was only in Spain for a very short time. Atletico Madrid. I think you're going to have to let us in on some of these, Welsh. 22nd, 20th, 19th, 18th, 15th, 14th, 12th, 11th, 5th and 3rd we're missing. Bebeto's not a bad shout. Yeah, Bebeto's not a bad shout. Top 25 Brazilian players to play in La Liga by most appearances. You know what the rest, I don't think you're going to have a clue. Oh, well, that's good, Welsh. That's good. Well, go on, give us them then. Give us them. Who's number 22? Who's number 22? Romario I would have liked to be in there, but I don't think he is. 3rd is Donato. Was that him who used to play for AC Milan? I remember him playing for AC Milan. I don't remember him playing for Spain. Donato. No, he didn't play for AC Milan. He played for Atletico Madrid and Deportivo. Would never have got that. He's 63 now. He was playing for him in the early to mid-90s. 3rd is Donato. Would never have got that one. Did Bernard from Everton play in La Liga? He might have briefly. Robbie, how are you, Key? I'm very good, mate. How are you, Robbie? Do you reckon we get a double PSG swoop like and buy as well? No. Gio Vanella is 22nd. Fucking hell. Okay, go on, keep going. 20th. Who's 20th, 19th and 18th? What do you think about Cucurella to Real Madrid? Smart signing. Yeah, he's a good player. Good left back. Wasn't he one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Donatello. Yeah, no, we're not going to sign 2 players from PSG. They might let 1 go. They're not going to let 2 go. What team did you support in the World Cup final? I didn't really care, if I'm honest, mate. I didn't really mind. 19th is Mercado. Who was 20th? Who was 20th? Oh, Ziriberto. Ziriberto, 20th. Conceição. Is Conceição there, maybe? I heard Zabani was offered to us. I reckon it could be ideal with Gomez getting injured all the time. I'd like Zabani, but again, it's going to cost a fortune. They paid 60 million for him. I don't think we need him. We don't need Zabani. We need a better alternative to Gomez, but we don't need Zabani. We need someone like Santi Bueno from Wolves, someone like that, experienced Premier League centre-back, someone who can come in relatively cheap, is going to be happy being fourth choice centre-back. Fine with that. Sal is 18th. Okay. Sal. Isn't he? Is Sal Brazilian? I don't even know who that is. Sal is 18th. 15th is Savio. 14th, go on. What about Dan Ballard or Nodi Mukiele? Mukiele wouldn't be a bad shout because he can play right back as well. N Fit, time 8, how's it going? Mayo won the All-Ireland. Amazing. Brilliant. Diego Costa. Spanish, isn't he? So we need 14th, 12th, 11th and 5th now. Welsh. 14th, 12th, 11th and 5th. Who's your favourite player from Liverpool? Phil Babb. Yeah, Phil Babb. 14th, Leo Baptistao. Who was that Sunderland player called that nearly joined us in Jan? Geertruida. Yeah, he's from RB Leipzig. And as soon as he made it clear he wanted to join. Messi or Ronaldo, in your opinion? Ronaldo. 12th, Luis Eduardo. 11th, Senna. Hang on. VAR check on Senna. As in Marcos Senna. Marcos Senna played for Spain. Yeah, Marcos Senna played for Spain. He was born in Brazil, but he's Spain. You can't have Marcos. Top 25 Brazilian players playing La Liga. 11th is a Spanish player. Come on. Sweet baby Jesus of Nazareth, Welsh. How's it going, Nabuish? How's it going? Very good, mate. Nick, do you like Bayern Munich or PSG? No. Tom could be a good squad option, be the perfect option to replace Gomez. Versatile as well. I also thought Senna was Spanish. He wasn't Spanish. He absolutely is Spanish. He played for Spain at the World Cup. He won the European Championships 2008. He was the double pivot for Spain. He won the Euros with Spain in 2008. I remember it. Right, second half. Here we go. Second half kicked off. Okay, there you go. We're off and underway for the second half, folks. What's the current situation of the Brazilian League? The current situation of the Brazilian League is that Palmeiras remain top. They are chased by Flamengo and Atlético Paranaense. To be honest, Palmeiras flying at the minute. Flamengo probably the only team with a reasonable chance of catching them. They've got 7 points behind and they've got a game in hand. So maybe Flamengo could catch him. But Palmeiras definitely the team to catch at the minute. Fluminense are 4th, Bahia 5th, Red Bull Bragantino 6th. Then it's Botafogo who are in front here against Cruzeiro. Then it's Corinthians and then it's Cruzeiro themselves. Well, blame websites that said he was Brazilian. A shoddy workman always blames his tools, eh, Welch? Harmony K. That was a great quiz, mate. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Who was 5th again? Who was 5th? You didn't say. Who was 5th? We was too busy taking the piss out of you for 11th. Who was 5th? Grint, what about Fluminense youngster Riaz? Any good? I don't know, mate. I've not seen too much of the Brazilian league this season to comment. So this is the first watch-along I've ever done of the Brazilian league. I have watched bits of the Brazilian league, but this is the first watch-along we've done. I don't think we'll do many more, to be honest. Why what? Why have I not watched? Why have we not done any watch-alongs? Well, I guess just because we tend to focus on the Champions League, the Championship, the Premier League, European football generally. We did River Plate and Boca Juniors not that long ago. We have done South American football. But it's usually on so early in the morning, isn't it? It's very rare that you get a Brazilian game kicking off at 8 o'clock UK time. So I thought this was a good opportunity to try it. Mauro Silva was 5th. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Oh, there you go. Love that. Thanks, folks. Good quiz, that, Welsh. Do you like Manchester United at all? No. No, I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. I'm a big Liverpool fan. Who do you follow? Liverpool. Yes, Liverpool. And I know he's Brazilian. He is, yes, he's Brazilian. No doubt about that one. We don't need to check his passport. Have you ever been in a Liverpool game? Never been in a Liverpool game. I've been to watch Liverpool many, many times. Yeah, I've been all over the world watching Liverpool. But I've never been in a Liverpool game, as in playing for them, sadly. Have you ever been to Scotland? I have, yeah. I've got family in near Dumfries. Been to Scotland many times. Joe. Bit of that. PSG are very upset, apparently, with Jan Diamand. Why are they so upset? Why are they so upset? Behind the scenes, Jan will sign for Real Madrid next week, while PSG say they will not be drawn into an inflationary and manipulative game. Real deal will be signed in the coming days. Leon Goretzka will decide his future club soon, but apparently he's being linked with Barcelona. I'd never have said Goretzka. Aaron Buell, scared of Vinny. Why would I be scared of Vinny? Why? What's he doing? Cruzeiro, come on, hit it. This keeper's suspect. Welsh thoughts on Liverpool stepping up their interest for Barcola, Key. We was just talking about that about half an hour ago, mate. I think he's a very good player, undeniably a very good player, but I think it's a big risk for Liverpool to probably make him our record signing when he's never actually done the job that we'll ask him to do. Iraola's system is almost the polar opposite to the Luis Enrique system. He's asked to do very, very different things in that Luis Enrique system. He does them very well, and he is a good player. Undeniably, he's one of the best wingers in Europe, but he's not strictly an Iraola player. And that's the big question I have is Iraola going to adapt his system to suit Barcola, or is he going to try and adapt Barcola and ask him to do completely different things to play like his system? That's going to be the big friction point, and I don't know where it's going to land. But it's a big risk, isn't it? It's a very, very big risk when you look at players who've never quite played that system before. He's been very good at playing a completely different way of football, but that's not to say he can't do what Iraola's going to ask of him. It's just to say that we're signing him on the basis of no proof. And that's a big risk. That's a very, very big risk. Rasta, how did the friendly match between Liverpool v Sunderland go yesterday, Key? 4-2, yeah. Good results. Ryan from Bournemouth would be good. Well, I mean, Ryan's maybe a little bit more of an obvious fit because he's been in an Areola system. Munoz is actually a bit more of an obvious fit. Victor Munoz does a lot more of what Areola wants. And that's probably why we've signed him. But Barcola, maybe not so much. Will Dembele go to Saudi with Diaz? That'd be good, wouldn't it? Hopefully Isak does well next season. I mean, Isak just needs to stay fit. I don't think fitness is a problem for him. I just think he's had some really bad injuries in the last 12 months. Sesko Golden Boot incoming. No, I don't think so. I don't think he starts that much. What do we think, by the way? Do we think that City of Northville, do you think Sesko actually starts for United? Like, if you're picking your opening day lineup for Man United as it stands, do you think Sesko's starting? Because I'm not sure he does. Joe, what does Areola want in Barcola, Key? Well, if you look at how he typically asks his wingers to play, they need to be physically very, very robust. They need to be... I'd say the easiest way to describe it is Barcola at PSG has played in a system where he's... Not necessarily he's been gifted space, because he hasn't. All wingers want space. But Barcola, I tell you what, here's a way to demonstrate it. Here's an obvious way to demonstrate it. Bradley Barcola, if you go on YouTube right now and you look at Bradley Barcola goals, the vast majority of goals you will see him running onto the ball. Right? You'll see him running into space. You'll see the ball. Bradley Barcola goals and assists. Search it up, right? I think I'll be right in saying this. Bradley Barcola will run onto the ball in the vast majority of circumstances. He'll either be played in behind, or he'll drift into space on the left-hand side, or he'll then pull it back and get an assist, or he'll chop in and score, and that'll be how he does it. Semenyo, who is kind of, let's call it the archetypal Areola winger, always got the ball to feet, and usually had a fullback already on him with a defensive midfielder inside. He got it. He scored and created from a standing start, whereas Barcola runs into space. Semenyo created the space. That's the difference. That's one of the key differences anyway. I think that's the big issue for Barcola is how is he going to be when he's played the ball? He's got a fullback already touch tight and physically on him, and he's got a defensive midfielder inside him. He can't necessarily chop in, and he's not got a massive amount of space. I don't know if that's going to be so easy for him. That's not to say he can't do it, because at PSG he'll have played for a team. PSG normally have 70% possession most games. With Areola, Liverpool are going to have a lot less, because that's what Areola does. Areola's whole system is to force transitions. Areola's going to have maybe 55% possession most games. 50%, 55%. We're not going to dominate possession in the same way that Arne Slot and his teams tried to. But yeah, I think it's going to need to be a different approach for Barcola. And that's my big question. I'm not against the signing. He's not the player I would have gone for personally. I'm not against it. I just don't think he's an immediate fit. Rob says Barcola misses too much. He needs 5 chances to score 1. Yeah, I mean he is a good finisher. He is, but he loses the ball too much for me possession wise. I think that's a big problem for Liverpool. Welshwing, do you think Bayern will struggle with Diaz, Elise, and an aging Kane and Salah next season, Key? Well, no. I mean, if anything, if they keep Diaz, they keep Elise, and they've got Kane and Salah both trying to kind of have their big last chance saloon, I think Bayern could really go far and maybe win the Champions League with those. What was your thoughts on Frimpong's performance last night? Yeah, it wasn't brilliant, was it? He just needs... I do think he is a good player, Frimpong, but I'm not sure he's our starting right back. I think he might be an option for us on the right wing. Maybe he's our backup right wing. But then if that's the case, then we desperately need a right back. Desperately. Sesko looks like a young Haaland. Why wouldn't you give him the minutes? Tall, fast, lanky, great on the volley, great header, same physical tools. No, I agree. Welsh, I mean, without Elise and Diaz. Well, it's whether or not they do actually go. I don't think Elise goes. If Real Madrid are signing Jan Diamand, then they're not signing Michael Elise, are they? Do you think Bruno G will leave? He'd walk into our midfield. Much better than McAllister. If McAllister's like last season, then, I mean, me and you are probably better than last season's McAllister. But if McAllister's like the McAllister we saw at the World Cup, or the McAllister that we've had for 2 years prior to last season, he's miles better than Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes is a liability. He's no better than McAllister. Last season he was. Last season he was miles better. Last season he looked like a footballer. Lindsay, thanks. Sorry, just thought I heard Salah's going to Bayern. I think Salah is going to Bayern, Lindsay. That's where I've said for a while I think he is going to end up. There's rumours about him going to Besiktas, but I think he's made for Bayern. I think Michael Elise is going to potentially move on. There seems to be a lot of big moves happening this summer. Dembele maybe to Saudi looks like it could be happening. If that happens, that might be the trigger for Elise to PSG. Joe, a liability? Are you having a laugh, Key? No, have a look. Have a look how many chances Bruno Guimaraes has given away. How many times he loses the ball. Bruno Guimaraes last season was bad for Newcastle. He wasn't like miles better than McAllister. He was better than McAllister. He wasn't miles better than McAllister last season. If you could only have peak Bruno Guimaraes or peak Alexis McAllister, it's not even a question. It's not even in doubt. Do you think McAllister will be tired at the start of the season? He played lots of footy. I mean, I hope we sell him, to be honest. Mbappe wants Elise at Real, and Real also want Rodri. Well, they're not going to get Elise and Jan Diamand. That isn't happening. Freddie McAllister isn't at his peak, though, is he? But neither's Bruno. Bruno didn't have a great season last year. Joe says, we haven't won when he's not in the squad. He makes everything tick. Yeah, but you didn't win much at all. Full stop. I don't think that's correlation isn't causation, Joe. Sobo or Bruno in their natural 10 role. Szoboszlai is not a number 10. Do you think Bruno enhances Arsenal? I don't think Bruno goes to Arsenal. Unless they're going to sell Zubimendi. Arsenal haven't got the space for Bruno Guimaraes. They've not got the space for him. They're not selling Odegaard. It doesn't look like Odegaard's going anywhere. It doesn't look like Zubimendi's going anywhere. I just don't see a world in which... I think what's happened there is I think Bruno Guimaraes has... Maybe there's been an opportunity for Arsenal to get him. And maybe they have put some feelers out there to see if he would be available. I just don't think that deal can happen. I honestly don't think Newcastle would ever legislate that deal for 80 million quid. To rubber stamp that deal for 70 or 60 million. To pay 80 million quid for a 29-year-old is a bad deal. It's a very bad deal. Plenty of space on our bench, mate. I know you're not going to put Zubimendi and Odegaard on the bench. I just don't see it. If he did, yes, I think he's better than Zubimendi. Rice and Bruno as a double pivot works. Do you think Bijol deserves a bigger move? No. I think Elise goes to PSG if Barcola or Dembele go. It might well be that both go, to be honest. They've got the space. PSG are overloaded with wingers. Absolutely overloaded with them. Dembele, Mbai, Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, Doué, 5. I knew I was missing one. Zubamendi being on the bench most of the second half of the season. Yeah, again though, that confirms my point. Apparently Lewis Skelly's a centre mid, isn't he? So why on earth would you be signing Bruno if you're going to play Lewis Skelly at centre? It's not happening. I'm telling you. All these noises, this transfer, unless you're going to go out and actively sell Zubamendi and Odegaard, and I don't think it happens, you've got Lewis Skelly, you've got Rice, you've got Zubamendi, you've got Norgard. I just don't see it. It's not going to happen. Freddie, who's winning the Prem this season? Arsenal have to win it. Yeah. I keep repeating myself whenever people come in and say this, but Arsenal have to win it. They have to. If they don't win it, it's an absolute failure. It's a bigger failure than... I mean, it would have been a massive failure if they didn't win it last year, but it's a huge failure if they don't win it this year. There's literally no competition. They've been given a free run at it now for 2 years, basically. They've got to win it back to back. They absolutely have to. Astonishing if they don't win it this year. All the pressure's on Arsenal. The only team who's kept all the players. B, your attitude is like a child. None of us adults think like you. Well, wouldn't it be sad if we all thought the same? ZQXVK, I reckon Chelsea get a good keeper. They've got a chance. Chelsea, I like Chelsea. I've said I think Chelsea could break top 3 this year, though. Tristan, Key, are you ready for Vinny Jr. if he joins Arsenal? No, he's not joining Arsenal. Get that out your head. You're having a laugh. Botafogo, driving forward, gives the ball away so easy. Freddie says, how's the pressure on Arsenal? Surely winning the Prem releases the pressure. Well, not really, no. The pressure's on Arsenal. They're the favourites to win it. If they don't win it, they've massively let the side down. They have to win it. They have to win it. Gamer Guru, MLS hasn't been put in his natural position until the last few games. Arteta benches who he wants and players have no real issues about it. Well, you say they've got no real issues about it, but they would have issues about it, wouldn't they? Miles Lewis-Skelly didn't even get seriously considered at the World Cup because he doesn't start. I'm sure Miles Lewis-Skelly would be thinking to himself, hang on a minute, if I aspire to be in that middle of the park, I need to be playing regularly. The same way as Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan Nwaneri evidently believes in his talent, he believes in himself. Why would Ethan Nwaneri stay at Arsenal if he sat on the bench? Why would Lewis Skelly stay at Arsenal if he sat on the bench? These players want game time. They want the opportunity to play. They want opportunities to make mistakes. Kobbie Mainoo is a Man United lad through and through. He was ready to leave. If Ruben Amorim didn't go and he didn't get game time, he'd have left. Lewis Skelly and Nwaneri will be the same. And it'll be the same for Max Darman if it doesn't happen for him before long. Cheers, Rasta. What a guy. Why would Skelly downgrade to United? I didn't say Skelly would go to United. You misheard. What I said was Kobbie Mainoo wanted to leave Man United because he wasn't getting game time. I would believe that Lewis Skelly would feel the same if he wasn't getting game time at Arsenal, which if you sign Bruno Guimaraes, he isn't getting game time. So, it doesn't make any sense to me. Have to earn that spot. Arsenal's full of competition for first team spots. It's what you need to keep players hungry. No, mate, I disagree. I don't think it's... You don't have a team where it's ambiguous who's number one and who starts and all. No. It's very, very clear. With good managers, it's very clear who's number one and who needs to fight for their place. If Lewis Skelly feels like he isn't getting opportunities, and to be honest, for the most of last season he didn't, and I do think he would have kicked up a fuss. There's no doubt at all. And if he didn't, and that's even more of a worry, isn't it? He will have kicked up a fuss, and he got a lot of opportunities towards the end of the season, didn't he? Kind of the last 10 games, Zubamendi came out, Lewis Skelly went in. If Lewis Skelly doesn't get more games at the start of the season, I'm telling you, you'll start hearing new noise and rumours and all sorts. Same with him. MLS looked happy in the vids, holding champagne bottles. I'm sure, because it's a title-winning success. Of course, you'll always be happy with that, but I'm sure he'll want game time. This is, mate. This is you know this. You know this. You've lived long enough to see this. The biggest challenge that teams have when they are successful is holding on to players. It's not about acquiring new players. Arsenal's biggest challenge this season will be keeping older players. Because that's what happens. The first thing that happens is, as soon as Arsenal won the league, every team would have looked at the players who were just on the fringes, just on the cusp of Arsenal and gone, why don't you come to us? You'll start for us. You come to us. So whether you like it or not, Miles Lewis-Skelly will have agents from other clubs knocking on his door saying, come to us and you'll start. We will start you. Imagine Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich could do with a Miles Lewis-Skelly in that midfield. Imagine Bayern Munich was saying to him, we'll put an offer to Arsenal, a serious offer. Come, you'll start for us next year. You'll win the Bundesliga and you'll go to the last four in the Champions League, because they will. That's a very tempting offer for Miles Lewis-Skelly, and I'm telling you, them sort of offers will be coming his way. Chris, I can't see Arsenal winning the league again. I'd like someone else to win, like Everton or Brentford. That's nice, Chris. Paul, go on, say a positive to Arsenal. Jealousy. I've already said you're going to win the league. What more do you want? You're the best team in the league. What more do you want? Say a positive about Arsenal. They're so obsessed. They're so obsessed. Please like us. Please validate us. I've said you're the best. What more do you want? Hi, Key. What are your thoughts on Diamante Madrid? Makes him a very dangerous outfit next year, doesn't it? Diamant on the right, Vinny on the left, and Mbappe through the middle. That's a hell of an option. Loan spell would be fine, sir, but look at Arsenal. They've never sold players of that value. We don't need to sell to balance the books. I disagree. You've spent a lot of money. You have spent an awful lot of money. In fact, there's not many who've spent more. I think there's only one or two teams who've spent more than Arsenal since Arteta's come in. Arsenal are right up there in terms of expenditure. So they're going to have to balance the books at some point. Liverpool and City, well, I mean, City 115 pending, but Liverpool have got a lot of space. We've got a lot of cash we can play with. Rough night's sleep, Key. Just a little bit. What makes you say that? Not Daniel. Key, where are you originally from? I grew up in a place called St Helens, just outside Liverpool. I'll be honest, it probably makes me laugh, you celebrating more when we concede than you scoring. Yeah, no, that's not true. That's not true. You just don't watch the lives when Liverpool score and win and all that. You don't see them. Memphis Depay has agreed a new contract with Corinthians. Zlatan, who do you support, bro? Crawley Town, mate. Big Crawley Town fan. Gamer Guru, we've never sold a player over 40 mil, mate. Our revenue is fine. I know, but the vast majority of your players who've left, your best players, they've all left. Usually on free transfers. How much did you sell Henry for? Would have more cash if you lot stopped letting people walk on a fee. Cheers, Josh's Red. Good to see you, man. Last 20 minutes, Cruzeiro. Come on, I need a goal here. I need a goal. Yeah, Arsenal have never been great sellers, though. That's been a problem for Arsenal over the years. You've never really been great sellers. Do you think Arsenal will get Vinny? No. No, you'd have to be brain dead to think Arsenal are going to get Vinny. It's not happening. It's not happening. You'd have to be a fool to think you're getting Vinny. You're not getting Vinny at all. It's an absolute wind-up. He's only interested in getting a new contract at Real Madrid. That's all it's about. Yeah. Arsenal, £1 billion of expenditure. Well, 1.24 billion of expenditure, actually. But net, £1 billion spent. Where do you think Liverpool finish this season? It's too early to say. It's far too early to say. I would say at this moment, if I had to, if the window's shut tomorrow, which it didn't, obviously there's another 6 weeks or so to go. If the window's shut tomorrow, I'd probably be saying Liverpool will finish 5th. But I don't think that'll happen. I think if we probably get a couple more, we might be able to, well, say a couple, we need about 3 or 4. If we can go and get 3 or 4 in between now and the end of the season, the end of the transfer window, then maybe we'll be closer to the top 3, but remains to be seen, because Iraola is a big question mark as well. I'd take, if you offered it me right now, I'd take top 4, top 5 easily. Josh says, how have you been? Haven't seen you live in 2 months because I didn't know you moved channel. All good, mate. Yeah, really good. Good to see you. Glad to see you finally found us, moved across. I've been posting posts for months on Premier League Dad, but everything's over here now. FFP is going to be knocking on the door very soon for Arsenal. Arsenal might get Vinnie Jones. Take it easy, Freddie. Yeah, catch you soon, mate. Vinny's ego, Arsenal will have to deal with. Lewis, who do you think's had a good transfer window so far, in your opinion? Spurs is probably the best one, isn't it? Clip, surely Iraola is expected to win the league, considering the fan base expected Slot to win it. Well, yeah, not me. I can't speak for all Liverpool fans, but yeah, there are a cross-section of Liverpool fans who would be adamant that we have to win the league and anything else is an absolute failure. Akai, is there any chance in the Cruzeiro goal now? Well, there's 75 minutes on the clock. We've not really had a huge amount of chances for Cruzeiro. I'm really, really hoping that they do, though. Botafogo have got a free kick here, 75 minutes in. Not Daniel, why'd you switch channel? Long story, mate. I've gone over it many, many times. Long story. Basically, it was just the best thing. It was the smartest thing to do to move channel. So, I'm still going to be doing stuff on Premier League Dad. It's just a brand thing, I guess. So I'm going to be doing a weekly talk show segment over there. But match days are all going to be on the Match Day Tavern. I've had a hell of a lot of progress on my channel. Last time I saw you, I had 210. I've now got 324. Nice. Great work, mate. That's good growth. Well done. Davo, you say Arsenal are best. Will you champion that and cheer where you do for scores against Arsenal? What do you mean, will I celebrate Arsenal goals? No. Why would I'm a Liverpool fan. Why would I celebrate Arsenal goals? Do you celebrate Spurs goals? Or do you celebrate Brentford goals? What a silly question that was. Gamer Guru, even if we spent big, we're behind United, Spurs and Chelsea on nets. You're not behind Chelsea, United and Spurs on nets, but you're only behind Man United. You're only behind Man United on net spend. You've spent comfortably more than Spurs and Chelsea. You spent double Liverpool, City. Well, maybe 50% more than City. 50% more than City. Double what Liverpool have spent. Chelsea, you've still spent over 150 million euros, net, more than Chelsea since Arteta came in. And we know how much Chelsea have spent. You celebrate all goals scored against Arsenal, not just goals contradicting what you just said. It's not a contradiction. I don't want Arsenal to win. That's not a contradiction. To say, hang on a minute, to say that Arsenal will win the league, and to say that I don't want them to win the league, that's not a contradiction. Arsenal will win it. I don't want them to win it because they play boring football. I don't hate the club. I don't hate the fans. I don't hate the players. They just play boring, dull football. And Arsenal fans agree. I don't know why you're so desperate. I don't like watching Arsenal play, so I celebrate when they're losing. Because I deep down, I'd quite like Arteta to leave. I'd quite like him to go and get a decent manager who'll play some actual attacking football. With the players they have, they could do so much better. Dave, how's it going, mate? Good to see you. BH06 talking about Arsenal yet again. Did you see the questions just above asking about it, though? If you get asked about Arsenal, it's hard really not to speak about them if you get asked about them. Cruzeiro, what the fucking hell was that? Why would you shoot from there? Why would you shoot from there? Twisted Fate, big up Key, great to see we're still talking about Arsenal. How's it going, mate? Gamer Guru, even spending big this transfer will still be behind United, Spurs and Chelsea. Google's free, as you say, mate. We're talking literally about since the start of Arteta coming in. It's all well and good talking about this summer and whatever. Maybe you will be this summer. You spent more than Liverpool net last summer, but everyone went on about how much we spent. The fact is, since Arteta's come in, you've spent more than everyone bar Man United. More than everyone bar Man United. Ash says, João Gomez to Villa was a good signing. Just feel Rodgers will be wasted at Chelsea with Palmer. No, they'll play 2 number 10s behind either Omega or João Pedro. That's a hell of a front three, that. Josh's Red for Life thoughts on last night's game. It was good. I enjoyed watching the new setup, but I think it's maybe been overplayed just how well we played. It was a lot of young lads for Sunderland and Liverpool, to be honest, so it's hard to really put too much stock into it. I think I'll be more excited when I see Liverpool against, you maybe Leeds and Como, maybe in a few games' time, once we've got Isak and Wirtz playing and more of the first team in. I'll be intrigued to see that version of Liverpool. It might even need to be when we've been Monaco, maybe Monaco. Yeah, we've got Monaco on the 9th of August and we've got Como on the 16th. They might be the best 2 games to watch Liverpool. Last 10 minutes here in Brazil. City of Northville, if Arsenal fans' theory is right about rage baiting and they are here, would that mean it worked on them? Well, that's true, yeah. That is true. Just means they're very easily influenced, I guess, if it was all rage bait. Josh, we need to get Barcola at this point. Do you think so? I'm still not massively sold on him, to be honest. MW, if we get Vinny, Arsenal might play slightly more counter-attacking. You're not getting Vinny, but even if you did, all that would happen is Arteta would space jam him. Vinny would hate playing for Arteta. No, there's not an attacker in world football wants to play for Mikel Arteta. Deep down, there's not really an Arsenal fan likes watching Arsenal. They just like the success. They don't enjoy watching them. Cheers, Ethan. Good to see you. Garvey, let me in. I can't, mate. I can't let you in. I'm live on like multiple places right now. So I know you're on TikTok, but I can't have you on one platform and none of the others. It wouldn't make sense for everyone. Are you watching Dundee Rangers on Friday? I am, yes. Dundee United versus Rangers on Friday. Dundee versus Celtic a couple of days later. So yeah, I'm watching both of those opening SPL games. Josh, I think he's good, was great at the World Cup, proved he's got quality, so yeah. No, he's good. He is good. I'm not saying he's not a good player, he just hasn't really got experience doing what we would need him to do for Areola. Okay, Maguru, first Chelsea. No, that's, mate. Manchester United, right, since Arteta arrived, go on, we'll do it. Since Arteta arrived, 1920 until this summer, right? The highest spending teams, Manchester United number 1, then it's Arsenal, then it's Spurs, then it's Chelsea, then it's City, then it's Newcastle, then it's Liverpool. To just give you the differences, Arsenal have spent €942.84 million, nearly €1 billion on players since, net that is, since 2019 when Arteta joined. Liverpool in the same period, €518 million net. Rian boy, what did you think of Liverpool v Sunderland? Yeah, 4-2, good win. What European qualifiers are you watching this week? We're doing Shamrock Rovers. We're doing Shamrock Rovers versus Ararat Armenia. They're 2-0 down from the first leg. That was in Armenia. They're back in Shamrock Rovers. They're back in Ireland for the second leg. So I'm going to be watching that one on Tuesday. Trying to think what else we've got on this week. Shamrock Rovers versus Ararat. Liverpool v Wrexham, Dundee v Rangers, Tranmere v Rochdale, Liverpool v Leeds, Celtic v Dundee. So yeah, in terms of European qualifiers, we're only doing Shamrock Rovers v Ararat on Tuesday. Take it easy, 3-star, have a good one. Twisted Fate, don't count United. Key, our spending's been abysmal apart from the past 2 seasons. Game of Guru, mine's from Planet Football over the last 5 years. Mine's from Transfermarkt, mate. Transfermarkt, last specific years, 2019-20 to 2025-26. Here, I'll even put it up on the screen. Go on, just to show that I'm not blagging. Why not Motherwell? Because why would I watch Motherwell? They're 2-0 up and they battered them. That was basically a friendly, that one. It's not going to be worth watching, Motherwell. Image. Right, we need add a new image. Browse. Okay. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you can see that. But there you go. That is the expenditure. In fact, I'll put it over here. That is the expenditure for the last 7 years since Arteta arrived, basically. Since Arteta arrived at Arsenal, expenditure net. Tells you everything. Liverpool basically sat at half. Are you doing Man United v Madrid on Saturday? No. No, absolutely not. Are you streaming on another platform? Yes, I always do, mate. I'm only on here, TikTok. I'm on 3 other platforms at the minute. The green one, the red one, and the purple one. If you search Key Thomas and MDT, you'll see. What about revenue in that same time period, Key? I've not looked at revenue. That's purely like player spend, incomings, outgoings, net spend, just purely on players, on assets, let's call it. Liverpool have, in that time, we've basically built a new training ground. We've expanded the stadium. We've done bits that might have affected our ability to spend. In the same way that we would probably expect Man United, we've talked about it, haven't we? We probably expect Man United to be capped somewhat due to the new stadium. Scottish Premiership's back for another season on Friday, and we'll be there for it, Oliver. I'm gonna have a look at that, by the way. I will have a look and see if people do want to check what games we've got coming up. I will set the Google Calendar up with a full schedule of all the games we've got coming up, and if you want to subscribe to it, you can. You can see what games we've got over the next couple of weeks. And I'd be interested to get your feedback on them. If there's any particular games you want to see us watch, then I'm happy to do them. I guess the criteria has got to be that ideally it's one that's accessible for most. Premier Sports, this one, so you do have to pay for it, but it's not It's not a pay-per-view, it's a subscription service, Amazon Prime. I think it's a really worthwhile thing to get, to be fair, Premier Sports. It's good value. But yeah, I will have a look, definitely, at sorting that Northville. Nick, do you play FIFA? I don't, mate, no. I don't. What's a Google Calendar? It's a cake. It's usually made with pistachio. But yeah, there's a very specific type of crust. It takes about a week to make. You've got to have it ferment. It takes a bit of time. They specifically eat it just in a region just outside the Faroe Islands. So yeah, have a look at it, mate. It's good. Google Calendar, nice cake, very nice. Try and do a mukbang with a Google Calendar. City of Northville, I can't wait for that Amorim Carrick game. I might try and see if we can do that one. Man United versus AC Milan. Van der Sar, Panathinaikos only, greetings from Greece. Hey, good to see you. Kalimera. Expenditure by club from 17-18 to 26-27 on transfer marks is Chelsea, City, United, Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool. See, why have you gone back a year? You've gone back a year. 19-20 to 25-26. Even if we change it, let's change it to 26-27. How does that change things? If you change it to include this season specifically, it's still there. Even if you just change it to include this season specifically, Arsenal have literally just, by a fraction, been overtaken by Spurs. Obviously, Spurs have spent a fortune on Van Hecke and Mateus Fernandes and Sandro Tonali. I don't imagine they're going to spend an enormous amount more, whereas you would imagine that Arsenal will bridge that gap by the start of the transfer window, wouldn't you? You'd imagine they've spent probably more than Spurs, or at least comparative amounts. So, yeah, Arsenal and Spurs are kind of neck and neck at the minute, but still, like I say, it's still about 50% more, if not double, than Liverpool and City. Matty, who's your top 4 or 5 for this season? Top 4 or 5 for this season, I think, at this moment, again, it feels a bit pointless predicting it at this moment, Matty, because there's so much work still to do. I'd say it's going to be Arsenal top. I think it's going to be City second. I think possibly Chelsea third. I'll say Liverpool fourth, maybe fifth. I'm not sure on that one yet. Man United probably fifth or sixth. So yeah, that would be my prediction. I think Villa will be there or thereabouts as well. Arsenal and Spurs are not neck and neck, bro. They are, mate, on expenditure. You've missed a conversation. They are neck on neck on expenditure over the last 7 years. Yeah. If you're looking in the last 7 years, Arsenal and Spurs have spent about the same net. Arsenal have spent also more than pretty much everyone else bar Man United. Key City second is essentially the same as saying Pep never mattered. Well, I don't think Pep was that critical to Manchester City in the last couple of seasons. Anyway, I think he's had a bit of a fall off. At his peak, don't get me wrong, he was. 87 doing Brazilian games now. How much is rent? Do you think I'm earning off this? Do you think I'm earning off watching a Brazilian game on a Sunday night? It's not smart, mate. No, there's no. It's not even Sunday, is it? What day is it? Is it Sunday? It is Sunday. I was thinking then, lost day of my days of the week. Yeah, I don't make any money watching this, mate. I like watching footy, and I like having a chat to nice people like you. Believe it or not. It's all good fun. We've had a chat about Barcola tonight. We've had a chat about Arsenal. We've had a chat about United. We've had a chat about what the league looks like next year. Cruzeiro, header. Oh, unlucky. 6 minutes left to go. Gamer Guru looking at it now. We are 5th. Yeah, well, evidently you're not looking at the same things I am. Income and expenditures, transfermarkt.co.uk, 1920 to 2627. Search it up, click balance on the right-hand side, because that's the big thing. Maybe that's... I think you're looking at expenditure. I think... What have you got it as? 5th. Looking at it now, we are 5th. Right, so if I click display selection and I change it back... yeah, you're right, you are 5th. That's why, because it's grouped by expenditure, not net. Click balance on the right-hand side, you'll see. Click balance on the right-hand side. That's what you need to do. Balance on the right-hand side organises it by net spend. Cruzeiro! Oh, that was the chance! Come on! That was the chance! MK, all this setup for 18 viewers is crazy. To be fair, mate, I'm shadow banned on here at the minute, but I am live on 3 other platforms at the minute, and we've got a lot going on other chats, so it's all good. Rehan, would you start Barcola over Gakpo if he was to come to Liverpool? Yes, I would, but I don't know exactly how he would fit into Areola's system. Nottingham Forest have sent another new offer for Javiro Reed. Chimey, full-time quiz. It's been 14 seasons since Man United won the league. No one can definitively say. Right, I'm off to bed. Jelly has given me a migraine. Take it easy, sir. I feel better. We'll see you tomorrow if you're around for... Who is tomorrow? I've completely forgot who tomorrow is. Who are we watching tomorrow? Who have we got on tomorrow? Who is tomorrow? Oh, it's the AFCON. It's the AFCON, isn't it, tomorrow? Yeah, we'll do the AFCON. We'll do the AFCON tomorrow. Free kick for Cruzeiro. Botafogo have just been booked, the centre-back. Jean Marcelo, the big lad heading into the area for Cruzeiro. Any chance of a late equaliser? Whipped into the far post. Keeper punches it behind. Corner kick Cruzeiro. City of Northville this season could be a huge surprise to everyone. We have no real idea how it's going to go. So many new managers, players and variables. Yeah, this is it. And we're going to do an FPL as well. We'll have an FPL going. It's all good. Daniel Barber, hello there, my man. How's it going? How's it going, Daniel? Corner kick Cruzeiro, whipped in. It's going to be another corner. Botafogo clear it away. Last 2 minutes. Need a Cruzeiro goal. It is ladies' night tomorrow, Callum. You're right. Flicked on. Edge of the box. Got to hit it. Hanging on a bit here. Hanging on a bit. Botafogo have got it all to do. Last chance saloon. They've got to get it in the box, Cruzeiro. That's a foul and a free kick, surely, referee. LDN Chelsea, who's playing key. Cruzeiro, Botafogo, mate. Brazilian Serie A. Last 60 seconds. Cruzeiro currently 1-0 down. It's been quite an ill-tempered game. We've had 7 yellow cards in this one. This charming Dan, ahoy hoy. Key only caught a bit of the stream because I've been nodding off all evening. My fault for staying up until stupid o'clock at my age. Sounds like it's been a fun night. I won't go as far as a fun night. It's been an interesting one. But yeah, we've had a chat, mate. It's all good. Ball whipped in again. Cruzeiro over the bar. And I think that might be that, you know. Yeah, referee's blown up. Cruzeiro 0, Botafogo 1. Disappointing night for Cruzeiro. They drop behind Botafogo now. Frustrating. And I lose my bet. Gutted. Right. Lots of love, everyone. Really appreciate you for joining. Great to see you all. Guna Lover, are you doing Man U v Atletico Madrid on Saturday or Leeds v Liverpool? I'm going to be doing Leeds v Liverpool, mate. Yeah. Leeds v Liverpool. Right. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff tonight. I'll see you all. There's another yellow card. There might even be a red card after the game here. It's all kicking off. Right, I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely night. I'll catch you tomorrow for some Women's AFCON. Take it easy. Ta-ra.